Hey everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to cover how you edit a loot profile. So let's get started. So first thing that you'll want is VTank installed. If you use the batch install, you already have a few loot profiles. Those are going to be located under C, Games, VirindiPlugins, VirindiTank. Now loot profiles are going to be a .ult file. So here's the different loot profiles that I currently have in that folder. Now the one that is most commonly used by everyone is Picky Shit. So I'm going to open up Picky Shit. Now it's very important whenever you're using this program that you do not use the copy paste feature. Using copy paste will corrupt this. So anytime that you want to put something in, you better be typing it or else you risk messing it up for yourself. So you are warned. Alright, so for instance, say that we have a rare item that we want to add to the list that we want. In this case, this is looking for just rares that have the icon overlay, which is that purple background. However, this is looking for anything that has the word pack, Golden Grommy, Velveteen Ulthoi. So it's looking for some rare pack dolls. Say I wanted to add, I don't know, let's say I wanted to add a specific, say I wanted the jewels. There you go. I didn't want all the rares, I just wanted the jewels. So I can hold Control and hit the clone button, and that will duplicate one of these rules up here already. So I can just come here and I can say, okay, clear that out. I want whatever that name is. So say we want pull up a list here. My mind's just drawing a blank. Okay. So say we want the Lugian's Pearl. So that's going to be the one we roll with, is the Lugian's Pearl. So we're going to do a name match, which is a string because it has text, and it matches on name because the text part is the actual name. And then we are wanting Lugian's Pearl. And then we're not putting any usage instructions on there, so I'm going to delete that. And then I'm just going to change what the rule name is just so I know what this is. So if I come in here later, I can go, oh, that's exactly what that picks up. So it just needs to be something that's meaningful to you. And I always keep the front piece so I know what section it's in so I can easily identify it in game. Alright. Let's see. So sets have specific numbers. Now with the batch install, if you go to My Documents, Decal Plugins, you'll notice that you have a couple different HTML files. So you can see what the different set numbers are. So you know what that ID number should be for the different sets. So in this one's case, it says it's Relic Aldoressa. So if I find Armor Set 7, which right there. So ta-da! This right here, whenever you see this around a name match, this means not. So it's not looking for asterisk covenant. It's saying it cannot have asterisk covenant. Same thing with this exclamation point equals. So unenchantable. So we do not want unenchantable stuff. So that's saying to ignore covenant, which covenant isn't buffable. But however, you got like the Ulthoi armor, which is technically unenchantable. So we don't want it to pick that up either. And then we're telling it on spells, we want it to match at least one spell, and it does have to have legendary, but we don't want it to be legendary, impenetrability, bane, arcane, jump, if that makes sense. Alright. So then, let's see, what else have we got? Let's come down to tailoring. Tailoring's a fun one. Alright. So we've got our name. We want Amuli, and it's going to be object class armor. You've got different ones that you can choose from here, but you know, Amuli is armor. Okay, so we're saying for the collar and shoulder, we want it to match this color code. So what I recommend doing whenever you're trying to find one that's an exact color match of something is, if you've got a buddy or a friend or somebody who has similar of that color, or you can find, like for instance, you like the color of the shoulder pads on this one, but you really want the breastplate to be the color of this other one, that's where that color tool comes in game. So just so you can see what I'm talking about, I'm going to log in on Sapphire. So you see this little rainbowy color icon here. Click that. And then if I, like for instance, do this helm, ta-da! There's its numbers. So in fact, if I come over here, bright red Humi, so if I wanted it to be that color, I would just change it to be this number. And then the maximum it can be different is 10, so it lets it fluctuate a little bit. And then this right here is also a little bit of fluctuation. So it gives you a little bit of give and take. So it's not an exact 100% match, but it's to like the naked eye close. So unless you have somebody who's ultra fashion police, recognizes the slightest bit of color change, not calling anybody out by name, myself, you'll be able to get by with it being off by this amount and maybe a little bit more. Let's see, what else have we got in here? So you'll notice you have tons of things that are strike through, like salvage. Simply hit the toggle this rule to unstrike it, and then that rule is activated. So often I have people go, well, I don't have that trophy in my list. Okay, well, if you don't have that trophy in your list, you know, that's a problem. But you know, it could be embedded in something else. You truly, honest to God, won't know unless you're clicking that item, or if you go into games and you open up the browser to the loot profile and you tell it, just for shits and giggles sake, to open with Notepad, and then say you want to find Shadow Armor, and then you can narrow down what section it's in, if it actually is in the book or in the loot profile. Otherwise, find a spot that you want to add it, that it's appropriate, and then use the hold control, hit clone, and just fix the name. So put, like, for instance, I don't know, say we had Scotty. Say we're looking for Scotty. Say, I don't know. Say we have a spot quest in the game. I'm just making something up off the top of my head, but you get the point. We are looking for that one thing. So that's going to look for Scotty. Now it's only going to loot one of Scotty because we have it set to keep number 1, or we could just switch it to keep, and then it will keep any Scotty. But right now it's set to keep number 1. So there's that. I'm going to delete that because there's no such thing as Scotty, but it is just an example. Now the other thing that a lot of people ask me how you do is the salvage, because they're like, well, I don't want to pick up all of that low level work, you know, blah blah blah, etc. Honestly, all you gotta do is just change what your salvage combinations are, because you won't mess up your bags as long as you tell it to group the right ranges of work together. So you just have to set it so that, you know, you have, for instance, steel, steel 1 through 7 is getting lumped in together, but I could tell it to do 1 through 5, and then I could tell it to do 6 through 7, and then I could have it do a bag of 8, 9, and 10. It all depends on how I organize this piece here. So you have those there as well. So pick and choose as you need, but just remember, do not use the copy paste function. It doesn't matter if you try and use right clicks or control V's. Don't do it. You'll mess it up in a heartbeat, I promise.